Raghav, a 26-year-old night shift cab driver from Pune. He was used to empty roads and strange passengers. But what happened that night at 2:15 a.m., he can never forget. A booking came from an old textile mill. That place had been shut down for years. People said no one ever went there anymore. When Raghav reached the location, a woman in a black coat stood between the broken walls. She didn't say a word, just opened the door and sat in the back seat. Softly, she said, "Take me to Hilltop Colony, quickly." Her voice was calm, but fear was hidden inside. Raghav felt something was off, but he drove on. The night roads were empty. He kept looking at her through the rear view mirror. She was holding her small black bag as if her life was inside it. Suddenly, his phone rang. Unknown number. Once, twice, 3 times. Finally, he picked it up. A deep voice said, "Don't take the woman sitting behind you to Hilltop Colony." Raghav's heart almost stopped. The call disconnected. He looked in the mirror again. The woman was now staring directly at him. In a cold voice, she asked, "Who was it?" Raghav lied. "Wrong number." She said, "Stop the car." The road was pitch dark. Raghav stopped the car. The woman leaned forward and placed a brown envelope on the dashboard. She whispered, "I'm not who he said I am, but if they catch me, you won't survive as a witness." Before Raghav could understand anything, bright lights flashed behind them. A black SUV stopped right behind. 2 men got out with flashlights. Panic clearly visible on their faces. The woman quickly opened the door and disappeared into the darkness. One man shouted, "Driver! Which way did she run? Did she give you anything?" Terrified, Raghav pointed to the envelope. They snatched it, opened it. Inside were 3 photos. A man tied to a chair, injured, terrified. On the back of the photos, it was written, "He has only 1 hour left." The 2 men looked at each other, panicked, ran back to the SUV and sped away. Raghav sat there for hours. The woman never returned. The SUV men never came back. Next morning, the news broke. Businessman from Hilltop Colony kidnapped. Raghav's blood ran cold. The man in the pictures was the same businessman. But who was the woman? Who called him? Who were the SUV men? The case remains unsolved. Raghav still wonders, was the woman a criminal? Or was she trying to save someone? For days, Raghav remained in shock. But one question kept troubling him. Why did she give him that envelope? What did she want? 3 days later, Raghav received a parcel. No name, just his number and address. He opened it hesitantly. Inside was the same black bag the woman had been holding that night. There were only 2 things inside, a USB drive and a small note. The note said, "If you want to know the truth, play it. If you value your life, don't open the USB." Raghav sat for minutes, hand trembling. Curiosity finally defeated fear. He plugged the USB into his laptop. A video played, the same kidnapped businessman tied to a chair. 2 men stood behind him. Shockingly, they were the same men from the SUV. The businessman was screaming, and the SUV men were threatening him. "Where's the money? Tell us. You've only got 1 hour." Raghav's world shattered. The truth was becoming clear. The woman in the black coat wasn't a kidnapper. She was the businessman's sister. She was desperately trying to save her brother. The SUV men were part of the real kidnapping gang, and the caller was probably someone inside the gang who had betrayed them. Raghav realized he had gotten trapped in a war that had nothing to do with him. At the end of the video, one final line flashed, "If you give this to the police, you'll be next." Raghav immediately removed the USB and broke it. He threw the bag into the river. And from that night on, he swore 2 things. He would never drive night shifts again, and he would never go near the textile mill. Even today, after many years, when Raghav thinks about that night, he understands one thing. Truth doesn't always live in the light. Sometimes it hides in the darkness, and to stay alive, you must leave it there. Because sometimes knowing the truth is the most dangerous thing of all.